Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
All right, so yes, it is. Look at this. It's Halloween, and the weather is not exactly what we are looking forward to as the trick-or-treaters are heading out and about tonight. As we give you a gloomy and soaking wet camera lens look at Mount Clemens there. That's where we want to start things off this afternoon.
Halloween is like one of those ghouls and goblins. You know, you don't have to have scary weather.
No, you don't. I mean, I don't mind the colder temperatures. You know, I know the kids don't want to have to wear their coats, but the rain is really what we don't want.
Paul, can we get it to turn off for a few hours tonight?
Well, we're going to try. And the only thing missing from that sky cam shot were the bats. Where were the bats? Anyhow, it was a spooky shot. All right, we're going to start with Exact Track 4D radar, as we've been doing all morning long from 4:30 this morning all the way till now. And notice a lot less coverage. If you were watching early this morning, we had a big area of rain as expected. That has pushed off, and we're now left with scattered showers. There are patches of drizzle in here as well. But all of this is north of a warm front that's going to come through this afternoon into the evening hours, which will perhaps provide a little salvation for some of us, which I'm going to break down for you coming up in about 10 minutes. But for right now, look at this, 58 at Metro, 57 Ann Arbor, Lapeer, 61 in Monroe. And so the temperatures this afternoon are going to get into the low to mid 60s across the area with, again, those patches of light rain and drizzle. But I have a new high-resolution computer model, the highest resolution model that we have. I'm going to show that to you in about 10 minutes. But right now, some of us are going to have showers this evening. I'm just telling you, some of us, there will be some showers, but some of us may get a break. We'll show you that. But temperatures for the kids this evening in the upper 50s. That's pretty mild for Halloween evening. I'll be back with that update in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Paul, thank you. We're also getting to two breaking stories that we're following for you this noon. We're going to start in Grand Rapids, where a former police officer will stand trial for the death of Patrick Lyoya.
Yeah, a judge made that announcement a little while ago after 2 days of testimony last week. Christopher Shore is that former officer who's charged with second-degree murder. He's accused of shooting and killing Patrick Lyoya at point-blank range after a traffic stop and a scuffle earlier this year. This is video of that incident. The judge only had to find probable cause to send the case to trial. Shore has since been fired from Grand Rapids Police.
And our other breaking news story this noon is on a cold case out of Indiana, where police have arrested a suspect in the 2017 murders of two teenage girls in Delphi. 13-year-old Abby Williams and 14-year-old Libby German vanished while hiking there in Indiana. Their bodies were found in a wooded area near a trail. Police just announced that they have taken this 50-year-old Delphi man into custody. They are not releasing the evidence that led them to the arrest.
The other big story that we are following for you this afternoon, a police officer downriver hits and kills a pedestrian.
So it happened overnight in Taylor. The officer was responding to a call for service at the intersection of Goddard and Westlake, not far from Telegraph. There you see it on the map. Priya Mann joins us now live in Taylor with what we know. Priya, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rhonda and Evrod. Yeah, we're here on Goddard and Westlake in Taylor, where that crash happened around 1 o'clock this morning. Taylor police actually contacted the Detroit Regional Communications Center to investigate a crash involving one of their patrol cars. As you mentioned, that police officer was looking for an address on his left. He struck a pedestrian that was in the roadway. The pedestrian was pronounced dead on scene and transported to a local hospital. That officer was responding to a call for service at the posted speeds, and there was no emergency equipment. The pedestrian was pronounced dead on scene, transported to a local hospital. Right now, Michigan State Police are investigating, again, that crash happening here in Taylor early this morning around 1 o'clock in the morning. That pedestrian was killed. MSP are investigating. Of course, we'll continue to follow the story, have much more for you tonight at 5 o'clock. Reporting live in Taylor, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, what a tragedy. Priya, thank you. For the second time in 1 week, South Lyon High School is on lockdown again because of a school threat. We're told that someone wrote the message, a message of a shooting on a bathroom, in the bathroom. Now, the students are being kept in their classrooms, and the Oakland County Sheriff's Office is searching room by room in that school. Sky 4 was overhead of the school last week because of a threat written on a bathroom wall on Tuesday of last week. Investigators do not believe that threat was credible.
We're expecting to hear from both football coaches at Michigan and Michigan State today after the fight. Remember, there's in the tunnel there. 4 Michigan State football players have been suspended for punching and kicking a Michigan player after that big rivalry game. Local 4's Rob Maloney joins us now from Ann Arbor, where Jim Harbaugh is talking right now.
Well, normally on a Monday midday, we would have the coaches talking about the next football game. And in fact, that will be happening both here in Ann Arbor and also in East Lansing. We'll be talking about their next opponents. But there's so much that is hanging over what happened on Saturday night. Yes, University of Michigan won 29-7 in a game, much anticipated game, that there was a lot of emotion surrounding. And in fact, that emotion boiled over after the game. We'll show you the video here. And the allegation is that Kari Crump, who was a sophomore, Angelo Groves, a junior, Tavian Tank Brown, a sophomore, and Zion Young, a freshman, all of whom, by the way, played in the game on Saturday night, are alleged to have attacked Jaden McBurrows, who was a player for the University of Michigan. And in fact, the video shows that the attack was quite severe. Coach Jim Harbaugh saying after the game that he thought that McBurrows had received at least a broken nose and that there may have been another player who had been attacked as well. And so there's much concern about this. In fact, so much so that I spoke with the University of Michigan Public Safety today, and they told me that they are in fact investigating along with MSU police and also the universities themselves. There have been press releases put out by Michigan State University and also the University of Michigan talking about this. And in fact, Mel Tucker, the MSU coach, basically saying that those 4 men who we just told you about, Crump, Groves, Brown, and Young, have been suspended from the team. And in fact, the investigation is going, and there is the possibility that maybe some more suspensions could be coming into place. So it's one of those situations where we want to hear from both sides. And in fact, Jim Harbaugh is going to be doing a press conference, and Mel Tucker also has a noontime press conference, and we'll be hearing from them as to precisely what they have to say. We also certainly want to find out what the Big Ten has to say about all of this as well. You'll remember that a couple of weeks ago in the same tunnel, there was a confrontation between Penn State players and University of Michigan players. So clearly there's an issue in this tunnel, and that will certainly be addressed here at the news conference today. We'll be asking about that and also hearing from Mel Tucker up in East Lansing. So that's the update now, previewing all of that. We'll certainly have updates coming up on Local 4 News at 4, 5, and 6. In Ann Arbor, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, Rod, thank you. While that's all playing out over at Michigan State University right now, the Board of Trustees are meeting and expecting them to name an interim president. Earlier this month, you may remember, President Samuel Stanley announced his resignation, saying that he lost confidence in the board. It came after several board members requested that he step aside. Stanley's last day is in January, and we do have a crew in East Lansing, so we will let you know just as soon as the board decision comes down.
All right, so as your children and likely you get ready to head out to go trick-or-treating tonight, police want you to focus on staying safe, and they're doing everything that they can to bring awareness to that.
Absolutely. So our Nick Monticelli talked with the Sterling Heights Police to raise awareness about some potential dangers that you may not be thinking about. Nick?
Trick or treat!
Hopefully everyone who is asked tonight offers up a treat and not a trick. But that doesn't mean parents can let their guard down. Take a look at this. Drug smugglers in California trying to get pills across the border disguised as candy. And it's also important to know the majority of registered sex offenders are allowed to pass out candy on Halloween. So if that's a concern of yours, check to see if there are offenders where you'll be trick-or-treating. Michigan has a very easy-to-use website. But do you know what the biggest threat to kids will be tonight? Traffic.
The bigger threat is the volume of kids at night wearing dark costumes in vehicle traffic. And we know every single year that accidents at Halloween are definitely elevated, and there's a way better chance of getting hit by a car than being injured with some kind of tainted candy.
Sterling Heights Police Chief Dale Wojciechowski says it makes sense kids are running all over while cars are trying to get through. So to protect your little goblins,
if they can have a glow stick, multiple glow sticks, a flashlight, a lit up pail or bucket for their Halloween candy, crossing at the crosswalk, not just darting out across the middle of the street. This is stuff we see every single year.
And it turns out 1/3 of fatal accidents on Halloween involve a driver between 15 and 26 years old.
So these are relatively new drivers that are driving on Halloween night with a ton of kids running around. So it's a recipe for disaster. And if you're a parent with a young driver, I would suggest maybe trying to keep that young driver home on Halloween night, or really stressing to them about driving very slowly, especially through subdivisions, staying off that cell phone, because that's really where the danger is.
Nick Monticelli, Local 4 News.
Very good and useful information there, Nick. Thank you. But speaking of Halloween, in Detroit tonight, there are a number of things that families can do to get the Halloween candy all around town.
Yes, the city of Detroit is hosting its annual Halloween in the D and really going all out for families. There will be trunk or treating at all 11 Detroit police precincts, and 7 fire stations will also be handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. There are also big events at recreation centers and parks throughout the city. We have a complete rundown of all the fun on our website at clickondetroit.com. Those park events happening, I believe, over the weekend. So that's a good thing because that outdoor portion had good weather.